Hey everybody, Chinaman Lynch fan here with more Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn walkthrough. So on the last episode, we found out Lucia did get proof that Ludwig was firing up a rebellion, and Ludwig has officially announced his rebellion.
Insurrection erupts across Crimea. The wounds Crimea suffered during the conflict with Dane have finally begun to heal, and it should be rejoicing in its hard-won peace. How is it that the fires of rebellion have been lit? Bastion, Queen Valencia's most trusted advisor, widely acknowledged for his political savvy, is on a mission to Dane. And the Grail mercenaries, the original authors of Crimea's recovery, are nowhere to be found. Queen Valencia, close to despair, has nonetheless ordered the Crimean Royal Knights to restore order in Featherray. Her only wish is to win the coming battle, so that she may stave off a civil war.
So now we are on part 2, chapter 3, Geoffrey's Charge. This is pretty much the 80% mark in our quest. So as soon as the chapter starts, you end up in the base, because as in the previous chapter, I don't know if it uploaded or not, Geoffrey is preparing to move out. So in this base, you don't have Lucia and all those characters. You got the Royal Knights of Crimea. You got Geoffrey, who's a level 15 Paladin, who's the best ones in this list. You got the Deputy Commander Chiron, he's an Axe Paladin level 11. You got Astrid, who's a Bow Paladin level 2. She's not the best, but she's not bad if you use her a lot. You got Makalov, who's a level 7 Blade Paladin, and yeah, once again you got Marcia as a level 5, well, Falcon Knight, whichever level she was at. And that's it. Oh yeah, there's someone else, but I'll show you in a second. So this is a little shop here. Come on in, may I? Well, speak of the devil, if it isn't General Geoffrey himself. I wouldn't have expected a visit since you're leaving tomorrow. Hi, General Geoffrey. What can we do for you today? Sorry, Amy, but I'm not here as a customer. Huh? Oh, I see why you're here. It's about time, too. I'm ready to string that blatherhead drunkard up by his heels. Ta-da! Whoops! Who put that chair there? I could have been killed. Lady Khalil, you beckoned? Makalov, why are you drinking? You realize that tomorrow we have a battle to fight, yes? Greetings, General. My, you're looking even more dashing and handsome than usual, Your Excellency. Good grief, the man's an embarrassment. Are you sure he's a royal knight? He's like a pig pretending to fly. Why not put a dog in armor and call it Sir? Miss Khalil, that's not very nice. I think Sir Makalov deserves a little more respect than that. Are you blind, Astrid? It's the night before a mission. That fool stinking drunk probably gambled all his money away too. And you're falling around mooning over him and cleaning up his messes. Do you have no pride, girl? What the man needs is someone to slap him some sense into him. Perhaps I should. I've chosen to look after Sir Makalov. Nobody's forced me to do it, and it's really none of your business. You know, I'm really starting to wonder about you, good upbringing. Of all the men out there, what possessed you to place your bets on such a shabby prospect? What did you just say? There are no gentlemen in this land half as fine as Sir Makalov. I can think of a few. Oh my. Alright, settle down everybody. Keep this up and the General's gonna pretend he doesn't know either of you. Fine, I'm sorry. Alright, happy? So what was it you need with the ale-soaked oaf anyway? I just wanted to go over our battle plan one last time before retiring. I heard you're going after the Duke of Featherray. You think you can handle him? Of course, however, he's been marshalling his forces for quite some time now, which means our preparations will have to be flawless if we want to end this quickly. If only I were up to it. You know me. Ha! I'd crush him. I'd kick him apart. Well, I suppose I could go. Someone of my wisdom and power is easily worth 2 of you clods. Yeah, that's a great idea, Lamb Blossom. Like I always say, the best enemies are the ones that are on fire. I'm sorry, but no. Although I do appreciate the enthusiasm. I don't see the problem. Do you think I've gone soft? My magic's still in tip-top shape, I'll have you know. No, it's just that I'm sure Queen Alencia would be pleased with civilians fighting against their countrymen. Or wouldn't be pleased, sorry. I suppose you have a point. In that case, let Danvid join you. Danvid is not a citizen of Crimea. Danvid will fight like 10 men. Devdan? When did you get here? Actually, General, this is not Devdan. This is a friend of mine, Danved. Yes, it's true. People often make that mistake, but Danved is definitely not Devdan. Uh-huh. You look exactly like him. Doesn't he? Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, you can take him with you. Oh, and no pressure, but the fate of the country depends on the Royal Knights. Good luck. Don't blow it. Danved will fight like a bear, like a tiger. We don't need Largo Khalil, because Danved is pretty amazing. He likes to talk about himself. I understand, I think. Thank you for your help. Well, I suppose that's settled. It's time for you to discuss tomorrow's tactics. Good luck with that. As for the useless drunk, I'll have someone carry him over later. Thank you. Sir Maklov is not useless. How many times do I have to say it? Astrid, it's about time you got back as well. Yes, General, forgive me. I'll hurry back as soon as Sir Maklov is feeling better. Give me strength. The sooner, the better. So, basically, by that conversation, you unlock Danved, who I actually thought was Devdan at one point. I'm thinking the only reason why they did that is maybe there was a glitch, they spelled the name wrong. That's how I see it. Because it shows in the charts that Danved and Devdan are the same person, so who knows. Alright, on to the next one. Your Majesty, what are you doing with that lance? I asked your servant for it and he gave it to me. Why would your Majesty, as Queen, do such a thing? Who knows how tangled the web of rumors could become because of that. Let the court say what it wishes. You are far more important to me than the whispers of nattering nobles. You don't need to say that. Geoffrey, I'm sorry. I don't understand. What's wrong? 3 years ago, you fought to free Crimea from the clutches of Dayan. While you held this lance, your courage was dauntless, and your power is legendary. Yes, it's a brave lance, and I'm very proud of it. I can't have you raise the same lance against your fellow people of Crimea. I'm sorry, I just can't. Your Majesty is worried about the shadow it would cast over my name, the dishonor of using the weapons of Crimeans. I would never want to damage your pride as a knight. It would be too much to bear. Believe no such thing, Your Majesty. My pride as a knight is most deeply rooted in my service to you. That will never waver no matter what. Alencia, you know that. Then take your lance. Use it to fight for Crimea once again. So Geoffrey gets the brave lance. And finally, forgive my tardiness, Sir. Chiron, second in command of the Royal Knights, at your service. Sorry to have to disturb your rest. Not at all. If it were your will, General, I would hasten to the very edge of the world at your calling. Chiron, I'm lucky to have such a devoted follower. This is no reward, but there's something I want you to have. A silver axe? It's so sharp. Do you mean I can have it? Do you like it? Like it? My heart is ready to burst. I feel it's like my birthday and I just got my first suit of armor. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. It will look fabulous on my mantle. My family will enjoy it for years to come. I can't tell you how grateful I am. Chiron, that's an axe, not a painting. Paintings are for mantles. Axes are for fighting. I want you to use that axe. What? I couldn't. You can't refuse. It's an order. Understood, sir. I promise to keep it well protected and free from scratches. You're hopeless. So we got a silver axe. Doesn't feel like it's going to get used based on how Chiron's complaining about not using it. So there's your conversations. You get Danved or Devdan, whatever. A silver axe and a brave lance. So now I'm just going to end up buying some weapons here. So I'll buy some great lances for General Geoffrey here. Next up is Chiron, so I'll buy him a couple axes. For Astrid, now there is a cheat code, or a cheat I kind of found. It's at least helpful. There's a way actually to promote Astrid from a bow paladin to a silver knight, which is her 3rd class, in one chapter. If you want to do that, I would recommend getting some bronze bows. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try that cheat. I'll show you what I'm talking about later on, but in the meantime, actually, I'll get one steel bow for her because I don't plan on using her that much. Now for Marcia, who I believe is next. The one thing you want to do is you do want to get a couple javelins. I would say she should have at least 3 of them. And again, you'll see why later on. And I'll get her some great lances too. So next is Makalov. Get him some swords. And lastly is Danvet, or Danvet, who cares? I'll get him a javelin. And some more great lances. And I think that's it. All I need. I'll show you this. Oh, whoops, not yet. I'll show you the skills, the important skills anyway. Both Geoffrey and Astrid have the Paragon item, or scroll, I guess. Just like part 1 with the Paragon scroll, you earn doubles the experience points, which really helps with Geoffrey and Astrid especially, because it gets them a lot of experience points. That Paragon scroll also deals with Astrid getting to a 3rd class, and again, I'll show you why after. But in the meantime, we'll save it here. Yeah, I've only got a few minutes. I'm going to try keeping these videos to about 15 minutes or less, because after that takes a long time to upload. So I'll see if I can at least get to the first part of this fight, and then I'll resume on the next video. Good luck. I'll be sure to keep the palace safe. I'm sorry we couldn't allocate more troops for you. You'll be okay though, right? Of course. We might even have too many, actually. I'm more worried about the Queen's safety. Make sure the guards stay sharp. Count on it. I'll maintain a tight watch in the area, and there is a backup plan just in case. Good. Hearing you reiterate that makes me feel better, I have to admit. Remember, this isn't for glory. You'll be confronting our own people. Just do your job and come straight back. Oh. Felly Camp. Not sure where, but it's somewhere in Crimea, obviously. The Royal Knights have left the capital. We estimate roughly 4,000 soldiers are marching on Felly. That means about 2,000 are left in the capital. That's more than I expected. I suppose it can't be helped. The column headed toward Felly is primarily cavalry, is it not? Yes, sir. Exactly as you summarized, sir. In that case, the forces at the capital will be led by the Queen's confidant, Lady Lucia. This is most perfect. The soldiers remaining at Castle Felly have been given detailed instructions. False instructions, I might add. The dear pawns. They are so very heroic and so very disposable. What a tyrant. He would sacrifice his own countrymen. But let's forget about him for the meantime. We got a battle to fight at Castle Felly. And what an army. General, all troops are in position. We stand ready for the assault. Thank you, Chiron. The majority of the castle vanguard appears to be common soldiers. And there's still no sign of Ludwig or any of his subordinates? Correct, sir. And the rest are a bunch of amateurs. You should see them flop around their horses like rag dolls. They won't last long against the finely tuned skills of our Crimean Royal Knights. Don't get overconfident now. Most of their forces are likely inside, waiting for us to exhaust ourselves out here. Yes, good point, sir. And the main gate. Have you seen it? Breaking through that is not going to be easy. We must be patient. Yes, sir. And remember, we're not facing enemy soldiers. Yes, they are foolish enough to be lured into joining Ludwig, but they are fellow Crimean citizens. Her Majesty would prefer to capture these rebels alive and try and talk some sense into them, and there's a good reason why, and I'll tell you in a sec. I'm amazed, sir. Her Majesty's kindness is touching. I'll convey that to all our men. Listen up. We're to sweep aside the rebels and punch through the fortress gate. Her Majesty wants as many lives to be spared as possible. Set lances, all forces, charge! Alright, so, here's the conditions. We got 6 people that you can play as. We got 10 partners who help us if you want to. I don't usually use them. And 42 rebel armies led by Tashiorya, or whatever his name is. Level 8 Swordmaster. Now, just before I finish the video, I'll mention one thing. Geoffrey did mention to spare as many of those people as possible. There is a good reason for it. Just like part 1, chapter 1, if you actually spare any enemy soldiers, and obviously you can't spare him because he's the boss, but any other soldier you spare at the end, if they're alive, you get 200 extra bonus experience points per person you spare, so definitely a lot of points you can make there. But other than that, all we'll do for now, I'll finish this up. I'll switch some people around here. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it just like that, because that's the way I'll leave it. So we'll save it here, guys, and next episode, we're off. And we're going to charge up that castle and hopefully stop this revolution. Till then, see you next time, guys.